I was elated because there was a process that was being used to develop training.
You get common terminology. You get a common roadmap. You get tools and techniques that everyone can use that are the same.
We had things like the knowledge and skill matrix that really gave us a roadmap to what was going to be in the training material.
The process really did help facilitate getting more done in less time.
For others, seeing the process for the first time, I just tell them to trust the process.
I believe that a side benefit of the modular instruction process is that it made us think about our system in a much more complete fashion than we had previously, because we really had to take a look at how all of the different pieces of the system fit together, as well as the way that they fit together within the training.
Instead of being just focused on what training product we were going to develop and what that training product would look like, we were really thinking more along the lines of what can we do to help these people perform the job responsibilities that are expected of them. And I felt like the results from the analysis phase really helped change our way of thinking to that.
The benefit for me for using the process for developing training is the fact that it gives you a systematic approach to developing training. Starting with getting the right people involved, doing the proper analysis, and with that analysis also develop the curriculum. And the goal is to take people and make them efficient supervisors, effective supervisors. And so the idea of knowing what is required and what are the skills that are needed to meet those requirements, I think is very critical.
It's a comprehensive system, and it's close to a total system. And it allows us, from a General Motors perspective, to work with many vendors that provide us with instructional design resources, and bring those vendors and those resources into the company using a common set of rules and a common set of tools, which will lead to a common output. And that's really the main benefit.
It provided so much detail as far as what the job responsibilities were for the people that we were developing training for. So we were very focused on who those people were and what their job responsibilities were and what deliverables they were expected to produce.
We looked at the performance that was required to be a supervisor in tool and die. We identified what the performance criteria was and is, and also identify those skills and knowledge that were required in order to perform and efficiently in that area.
So here we were at the end of the analysis phase with 10 people from the organization, and all 10 of them thinking, yeah, that is it. That is the supervisor's job in Metal Fab Division. We've captured it.
When I first became involved in the modular instruction process, I was fairly amazed at the amount of upfront work that had to be done before going into the actual training development. But I believe that all of this upfront work was time very well spent.
When we started talking to people about doing analysis and design, you know, everyone wanted to jump into development. You know, just get out there and start hammering nails on this house and putting up boards, because we know there's got to be a room here and a room there. Some of the folks that we were talking to were looking at us like, what's going on with all this? Don't you, shouldn't you be scheduling instructors and things like that? And we said, no, we're going to follow this process. And when they see what we've got accomplished in this short period of time, it's been remarkable, really.
I had some reservation because there was a lot of data there, and wasn't sure how we were going to use that data as we move forward. But so far it has worked out extremely well, and I am totally satisfied with the product. But I felt that even though it looked very complex and very big, the magnitude of what we were doing, we seemed like it was going to take a lot of time to complete. I think that the process itself allowed us to get the task done in a very efficient and effective manner.
If you take a look at when we started the process, the MC process for MFD's Tool and Die Supervisor College, that was March. And if you look at right now, it's July, and we not only have people hired and started, but the calendars are all set. We've identified exactly how we're going to use all of the existing training. We've identified all of the new gaps. We've got the plan laid out. All of the existing building blocks are there. All of the new stuff has been scoped out, and it's just a few months after we started.
Immediately after we made it through the analysis phase, the customer took ownership of all the outputs that we produced in analysis. And that continued right through design. And when we wound up with the final training product, the customer was the owner of it, which is something I've wanted to accomplish for a long time, but been unable to until I started using this process. It allocates the right responsibilities to the right people. And by that I mean it puts the customer in charge of content, which is their area of expertise, and they want to be in charge of it. And it lets training professionals focus where they can add the most value, and that's in the area of creating training and development products.
There's been a lot of people involved with this project throughout MFD and at OED that have made this a success, and have done so much in such a short time.
Well, my involvement in the MCMI process is at the management level, working with the Engineering Education and Training Advisory Council, and in support of curriculum development teams that work for the GM customer. Our role is to work with them, train resources in instructional design so that they're able to meet the needs of the General Motors customer in the analysis, design, and development of training.
The project management built into the process is excellent. Built into all of the templates and everything else, you've got little PowerPoint presentations to use at the gate review meeting. So if somebody says, well, we're here to review the analysis or the design, you've got a little mini presentation in there to recap where you are in the process and where you should be, and what were the outputs from the last process, and how are we going to use those, and what will be the outputs for this next step in the process. The quality of the design was good, and we knew it was. There was logic behind how we had ordered and sequenced all of the courses. We had used a lot of existing training.
And I think the approach that we're using by getting people out of the organization involved, using the expertise of OED and their consultants, I think that, that we're taking the right steps, we're doing the right things.
If there's not the commitment on the part of an organization to provide the resources to do the front-end analysis and design, planning, then the system won't work.
I find that to be probably the weakest element of what we've done so far, is being able to pull people out of the organization to work with the process. So I'm not sure if that's the fault of the process or just the organization itself.
It is a rigorous system, therefore it does require time invested up front on the part of the right technical and management experts, and so that obviously becomes a weakness if that commitment isn't possible.
I would say that anyone who's becoming involved in the modular instruction process is that they really should get the right people into the room that have the right knowledge set and be willing to spend the time that it takes to get the upfront work done, because the results will greatly benefit from all of that.
My advice to anybody using these two processes is to remember that both MC and MI, both of these processes, are based on good principles, business principles, training principles, project management principles.
Probably the greatest point of surprise has been the degree that that our line managers are accepting and buying into the process. That's something that has been very positive.
And I felt really confident in our design, that it was a very robust design and that it was very complete. And it encompassed all of the areas of performance that the customer had told us about.
Everyone that we've talked to and showed the curriculum to, to date, they've been saying things like, I wish this were there when I became a supervisor, when I hired into General Motors. Why didn't somebody have something like this prepared for me and laid out, for my first 18 months? So far so good.
I think that we truly have a winner here in regards to the curriculum.